Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm making him talk about debt stuff with me, which isn't usually where he wants to come in on conversation. So we are going to take you through a little bit of our debt journey, what some of our debts are, where they came from, and how we are planning on, as a couple, paying off quite a bit of debt. I have about 80,000. He has about 65-ish thousand. We don't have the exact numbers sitting right in front of us right now, but currently we're paying them off separately. In a couple of weeks here, we will be paying them off together. So it's terrifying. So we're trying to figure out the best way to do that and how we're going to kind of tackle this snowball that is now just doubled in size. Yeah. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about that, then just keep watching.
Hold on. You may proceed.
Okay. So for me, I have about 5 debts that I'm paying off. One of them is a personal loan, one of them is a credit card, I have a car loan, and then I have 2 student loans. So I have basically my federal loans, and then I also have my regular private student loans that I had to consolidate with Sophie, Moella, however you say that, Mohila. So yeah, those are the 5 debts that I've been working on my own to just start it off, and then I'll bounce it over to him. My personal loan I have had in varying degrees for the last couple of years. I've paid it off, I've added a little bit more money to it. It's kind of just been, it started off honestly as a place to pay off a credit card balance that got too high when I was in my early 20s. So it's funny to me now because that high of a balance is nothing compared to the balance that I have right now. But I didn't want to be paying any of the extra interest or anything like that. So put it into my personal loan. My personal loan has a little bit of that. It has, when I moved to Chicago, I didn't have the money to pay for a security deposit. So I put $1,000 onto my personal loan, which is how it got up a little bit higher than I wanted to. I haven't put anything on it since I moved to Chicago about 2.5 years ago, but yeah, I've just been slowly eating away at it, which hasn't been going as fast as I would like. But that in my debt snowball, as you've seen with some of the videos we've done, or I've done, that was the loan that I was going after the fastest because it's the smallest loan. So yeah, that's kind of the start of my debt tea, or my debt shit, I don't know, all this stuff. I don't know. I feel like I just made that up. You know, you're spilling the tea, I'm spilling the debt tea. I don't know.
Don't you, it's not spilled milk, not spilled tea.
No, it's tea. You're old. Look it up.
Party.
Okay.
All right, so for me, I have, like Jesse said, probably 65,000-ish, the majority of which is student loan debt. I have a few different student loans, so it's not consolidated, but I've been doing this for years now since I've been out of college, so, and I never, none of them have a terrible interest rate, so I've just kind of left them as is and am slowly paying those off, just kind of normal payment plan or whatever. And then the other 2 main ones are this wonderful couch that we're sitting on.
Which is shit, by the way.
Jesse hates it.
I hate it.
Which sucks because...
Well, I love the couch. The fabric was ruined, within months.
Pilled like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and we haven't, we hadn't even had it 3 months. And now we haven't even had it a year. And, whatever. I'm gonna get on a tangent.
Yeah, it's a big pain point for her. So anyways, we put that on, a payment plan. So we're paying that off. And then credit card debt, which is something that I never had. And so, Mom, if you're watching this, it's not your fault. We were taught when we grew up, you didn't spend what you didn't have. And I did that for the majority of my life. And only recently, within the past couple of years, did I come close to not paying my credit card off on a monthly basis. I've always been very good at that, diligent with that. But within the past year, with all the health issues that I've had, didn't work for a while, and then
3 months.
Yeah, so it didn't work for 3 months, and I had uninsured medical costs on top of that, so it was like a double whammy.
He has his own business, so.
Yeah, so no PTO, I wasn't getting paid out or anything. So with all of that, the real issue that came about is that I didn't have an emergency fund. I had kind of drained my savings over the past handful of years, just trying to invest it myself, trying to invest it in business. And I did so rather, I don't know what the word is.
Frivolously?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking feverish, and like feverish
no.
is not what I'm looking for. You know, because I do truly believe in investing in yourself. And you need to put money back into yourself, and as a business owner, you need to do that in order to get better. However, I didn't do it in a systematic, intelligent way, keeping a buffer, an emergency fund, any of that stuff. So really what happened is I kind of drained any type of emergency fund and savings over the past handful of years, and was willing to play it kind of close for the time being. But just as like that all kind of came down, then I got sick, wasn't able to work, all those things that you need an emergency fund for. So anyways.
What is that Dave Ramsey calls it? The Murphy's Law or something? Like Murphy came in because you weren't prepared, and yeah.
Messed everything up.
Yeah.
Just kicked shit over and created a mess. So I do have a handful of credit card debt now because of that. And so that's something that's going to be, you know, the biggest thing that I need to pay off over the next year or so.
We need to pay off.
Yes.
So for me, just to go back, I do have credit card debt. I've done a whole big video on an old channel, or not old channel, on my personal channel, kind of talking about my debt in depth. But basically, I've always struggled a little bit with spending. For the most part, I've never been bad with credit cards though, but then in the last couple of years, I just kind of consistently let it get higher and higher, and like my amount that I could use, my credit line, got higher and higher because I have really good credit, thankfully, but still.
Funny how those things go together.
Interesting. It's got things on there like I went a little overboard with coaching last year, which was a big thing. I think that coaching is worth it. However, I spent way too much money on it than I had. Plus, I wasn't in a place mentally to be able to do that stuff. My health also kind of took a turn for the worse, and just having to pay a little bit extra in stuff when he couldn't pay, not a ton, but a little bit, definitely added to my debt. And then just honestly, travel, as much as I love traveling and I think that it's worth it, we didn't think about budgeting to travel. We just kind of assumed that we would have the money. So this is kind of something that both of us have really learned from the Dave Ramsey stuff, I think, is that, especially for him, like he's always made a ton of money. I'm just now in a place where I'm making a good salary, whereas 2 years ago, I was making half as much as I am now, and I was working 3 jobs just to pay my rent. So with him, it was like he didn't ever really have to worry about having money. He always had a savings. He always had money in the bank account. He never really had to worry about it. So he just got out of the habit of paying enough attention. Whereas for me, it was the same. It was the first time that I was actually making a good amount of money. So part of it was a personality trait of being like, I deserve this. And then part of it was just not paying attention. So all of a sudden you're not paying attention, and you're not noticing that, you know, the restaurant that you went to on a whim, you weren't able to pay off this month, and then it keeps going and going and going. So it just got out of control for me a little bit. Comes in, I also have a car loan. I do I know that with Dave Ramsey, he's very much like, get rid of your car and buy a junker or whatever. I've had a junk car my entire life. I've always had shitty cars. That's the way that I was brought up. And this is the first car that I bought that was only slightly used. And I have no intention of getting rid of it. If we need to, and if we find a good option, then we definitely would look into it. But for now, we are, plus his car is on its deathbed. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so
like I probably should have gotten rid of it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Already.
It's really bad. So we have my car as kind of like our vehicle. He helps me pay the loan every month. So
yeah, it's reliable. It's one of those things that if we keep it in good shape and we take care of it, like we're not going to need a car for a long time. So
yeah,
it is one of those things that it is a little bit of an investment, but for a good reason.
Yeah. So do still have that. And then my two student loan lump sums that I have are about 54,000 of the 80,000 of debt that I have. So quite a bit of student loan debt. I went to a private college. It was 32,000 a year to go, even though I had plenty of scholarships. It didn't pay for that, and I had no idea what I was signing, as per any college student that's going to school. That's a whole other video we could make. But we weren't ready, or I wasn't ready for it. I just signed the dotted line, didn't pay attention to how much it was, didn't think about 31-year-old Jessie having to pay that off. Honestly, 18-year-old Jessie wouldn't have given a shit anyway. But, you know, so that's just kind of like where it came in. So yeah, what we're kind of intending on doing here is hitting our credit card, our personal loans, car loans first, hitting those hard. Personally, in my view, and I believe in yours, if there's any quote unquote good debt or better than bad debt, it would be student loans. So for us, we would much rather pay off the personal loans, pay off the credit cards with the high interest rate, pay off the car first, and then hit the student loans. So we do intend on paying off all of this stuff, but our biggest, like strongest focus is going to go into the other debts first. So we haven't combined our loans, our budget, anything yet. We probably won't do that until probably like starting July or something after we get married. I don't know. We honestly haven't even talked about it. So we'll have to kind of decide. So like right now I'm doing the debt snowball for myself. Ben's still in a place where he's kind of just keeping everything going strong. I'm trying to pay off a little bit faster than him. So for me, my personal loan is the smallest loan. So I'm trying to pay that off and then continuing to go from there. We'll have to, once we combine, I'm assuming my personal loan will still be the smallest loan out of all of them, but we're planning.
Reprioritize after that.
Yeah, after that is paid, then we'll kind of reprioritize depending on interest rates, depending on
size of the loan,
how much it is, things like that. So one of the things that we are doing is everything that we can to cut out certain things without making our lives hell. So I talked about this in a previous video. I think it was my debt snowball video, I'm not sure, but we're in our 30s, early 30s. I'm 31, he's 30 for now. And we both work really hard, and we're not willing to go with full gazelle intensity at this point. We have a wedding coming up, we have a friend's wedding coming up, we're moving. So we are doing things like trying to find a place that's less expensive than where we live now. We're cutting out things that aren't necessary. We're paying attention to where we're spending our money, but we also don't intend to sell everything we have and go 100% like so hard into it where like we have no wiggle room. And that's kind of Dave Ramsey's spiel, which I do really enjoy and I like it, but it's also a big reason that I went out on the internet and found multiple other budgeters out there, because for me, with my personality, I struggle with black and white and I struggle with perfectionism. So if I if I just would be so hard on myself, and I would literally like make my life hell just trying to pay off debt. And while I think that it's important and it's something that we do want to pay off in the next 3 years, if possible, if not get very damn close. So we are going with like 100%, but we aren't going to kill ourselves over it. You know, if something comes up, if we really want to go to the movies, if we really want to take one of our parents out for lunch one day, we want to be able to do that. So those are the kinds of things that we're hoping we can still do. And then another big thing is we have kind of cut out everything that we can at this point. So now we're trying to find ways to make more money. So a YouTuber that I follow, Asia Dang, talks about this a lot, but she was like, I couldn't cut anything else out of my budget without literally not being able to eat. So she started finding side hustles and making more money. And that's, if you want to talk a little bit more about that, but that's kind of like where we're headed now.
Yeah, I think for one, this is like, again, I don't know if like a myth necessarily, but I think it's a little bit of a misconception in terms of like, I don't like when somebody says you can always cut something else out.
Yeah, because you can't.
Yeah.
Like there comes a point where you can't anymore.
Like my monthly expenses are very high. I've cut out what I can, and they're still high. So, and there's multiple, you know, there's factors to that, but like, so like you said, sometimes the answer is not to try to cut more. Sometimes the answer is
lack mindset. Try
to figure out how to fucking make more. Sorry, I don't know if we're swearing on this family channel. It's my brand. That's not necessarily our family brand.
You're fine.
So yes, so totally a thing. You know, I've just in general, I've got kind of my new path that I'm taking a lot of my business in anyways. So that's kind of its own thing.
Where we're anticipating that he'll be bringing in more money while also being able to do what he actually really loves, which is cool. For me, I did things like start this channel, my blog, really kicking up on my podcast, none of which honestly are making money right now, but in the long run, I know that they will. And I know that I'm offering and giving out all of this free content, this free advice that I believe in karma, and I think it'll come back to me. And then also just thinking about things like how can I offer, I'm a social media manager, how can I offer that to people more than I do right now? How can I bring in a little bit more money so that we can start really like hustling and paying this stuff off? So I think that's it. We kind of were a little rambly, but like it wouldn't be a video.
Wouldn't be a Fritz Fam TV video without a little bit of ramble.
Yeah, so so yeah, that's kind of like what we're planning to do. What's 80 plus 65? 135?
145.
145. So we're at about $145,000 worth of debt between the two of us. And we are planning to knock that shit out as fast as we possibly can. I hope that you guys are interested in like seeing this unfold in the next couple of years. We'll definitely keep y'all updated on what's going on, and however we figure out how to join our finances, that'll be an interesting video because we haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like our debt story, where we're at in this journey. We just started in January. We read Dave Ramsey's book when we were at a place where we really didn't know what to do. We're just looking at it in a different way and making it right for us, I guess. So I'm continuing to be rambling, but thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Anything else to say?
I got nothing.
He's got nothing. Okay, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.